We have some new heroes in the game, so let's check them out. Hello everyone, this is Shinobi, once again with another Awaken Chaos Era video. So in our patch from yesterday, we have got a few new heroes. So we will take a quick look at them and see whether they are good and if they are useful, at least on paper. Unfortunately, we have not yet received a copy of that, a temporary copy of those heroes to test them out live. Possibly we will be getting them in a few days, and once we get those, we will be able to test them up, and then we can show you how good or bad they are in actual game. So let's quickly look at those new heroes. Hey, before we move ahead with the video, let me quickly remind you, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and if possible, share my videos, but certainly do comment on my videos. So our first hero is Daphne from Lasir faction. So she is a water hero. She's an epic offense hero. Looks like a reskin, but that's okay. At least we have an epic hero come through. I hope they'll give us some more good elite heroes. But anyway, we have got an epic hero, and she's got an A tier attack, a B tier health, C tier defense, B tier speed, very low speed. But then most of the offense heroes are having pretty low speeds, and she's an epic. But yeah, this is still very low, and that's when she's completely booked, I think. And she's got a 6% crit rate. So let's quickly look at her trait and her skills. So she gains 30% crit strikes against fire heroes and deals true damage equal to 3% of their max health. So she's basically something that can be used, someone who can be used more against fire heroes. So specifically, the new dungeon has got a separate fire boss, so she can be really useful there. Maybe in Ash Magisteria, I don't know, because I have not tested her out. I hope I can test her soon. But as far as I think, this trait is more suitable for the fire boss in the new dungeon, the Rift of Chaos. She'll be really good there. Her basic skill, it deals 130% damage to one enemy with 100% chance to apply defense down to them for 2 turns. So you have to consider whether you need to give her focus or you have to give her more DPS. But anyway, she's anyhow going to deal 3% additional damage if she's facing fire heroes, simply based on their max health, and she can do 5% of their max health if she is ascended. So being an epic hero, she can be ascended much faster than any Lego heroes. So her special, which is a passive tidal strike, upon receiving negative effects, launches a counterattack with the special ability up to 2 times per round, right? So she is, yeah, obviously she's good for the new dungeon. That's what we are looking at. We need some heroes who can be used in the new dungeons. It's ridiculously hard. It's very hard. So yeah, we need somebody who can do a lot of damage there, but her speed is so slow, it's going to be really hard to gear her up. Then her ultimate, it deals 200% damage to one enemy, and it applies attack up and heal over time to all team members for 2 turns. This is awesome, okay, because this means that I do not have to give her a lot of focus, because obviously she's placing buffs on my people, right? So I don't have to give her any focus. I can concentrate more on her attack, and at the same time she's giving attack up to everybody and heal over time to all team members for 2 turns, and this is on a 4-turn cooldown. So awesome abilities that she's got. Specifically, I think she's been tailor-made for the new dungeon, okay? Our second hero is a legendary hero from the faction Soul Plunderer. So that is Desdemona, and she is looking awesome out there, okay? With that puppet of her, she's looking awesome. And she's got an A tier attack, an A tier health, S tier speed, 140 speed. She's probably the fastest in the game with 6% crit rate. So she's a dark hero. So obviously I can expect to get her in the next 5 years. So yeah, it's going to be really tough to get her. So let's look at her trait and her skills. So she has got an incredible trait, Nightmare. Okay, so what it does is that it applies Nightmare to one person on one of the primary target, and it cannot be resisted. So even though she's a dark hero, she already has got a 30% focus on her. She still does not require any focus because this cannot be resisted. And if she's ascended, when an enemy with Nightmare dies, she immediately gains a bonus turn. And when does she apply the Nightmare? She applies Nightmare whenever she's doing an active ability. That's awesome. She's got an incredible skill. So every time she's going to do an active ability, she's going to place a Nightmare on the primary target. And what does this do on the primary target? It causes the primary target to take no active action. So it is just like a stun on the target. But at the same time, it is similar to taunt in the sense that whenever someone is going to hit one of the team member of that enemy who has got the Nightmare debuff on him, whenever suppose there are two teams facing. Team A has got one of the person got Nightmare on them. Team B, one of the members of Team B is going to hit any other member of Team A. This person who has got Nightmare on him is going to launch a joint attack with that attacker to that person who's on his own team. On his own team, he's going to hit them with a joint attack with his basic ability, which is incredible. Just like the event that came through, where you are forced to hit your own ally. That's what's going to happen when this Nightmare is being applied to you. You will be forced to hit your own ally, and every single time someone hits that ally or any other ally other than you, if they hit any other ally, you're going to be the joint attacker and keep on hitting them. That's ridiculous. At the same time, if someone hits Desdemona. If someone hits Desdemona, if she's taking damage, a part of that damage is transferred to the person with the Nightmare. And that Nightmare will be there as long as Desdemona is alive. If she dies, then the Nightmare debuff gets off from that person. That's a ridiculous trait. I like that trait. It's going to be overpowered if we are able to use that properly. She's going to be really good in PvP. I think even in PvE, if you are able to properly manage this, I think this will be an awesome, wonderful skill. Okay, so her basic, it deals 130% damage to one enemy, applies no positive effects to them for 2 turns, and reduces the ultimate ability cooldown by 1 turn. So every time she's going to do her basic ability, her ultimate is going to be on cooldown. Awesome. Simply awesome. And she's got only 2 active abilities. Remember that. She's got only 2 active abilities. So she's going to ensure that her ultimate is going to come on cooldown pretty soon, pretty fast. So she's also applying no positive effect, and she's also applying Nightmare when she uses her basic, because that's what her trait is. If she uses an active ability, she will apply Nightmare, and she's also applying no positive effect. But this requires focus, so you will have to give her focus from that. And her special, again, on this patch, we got specials with passive. So when attacked, if the attacker has negative effect, gains 60% bonus resistance. So she gains 60% bonus resistance against that attacker if that attacker already has got a negative effect on them. She launches a counterattack with puppet manipulation and then summons the enemy with Nightmare to launch a counterattack. So that enemy has to have negative effect on that enemy so that she can do this. So she's going to gain 60% bonus resistance, launch a counterattack with puppet manipulation, and also cause any other enemy with Nightmare to launch a counterattack on that one enemy. Ridiculous skill. Okay. So let's look at her last skill. Her ultimate, Spirit Sacrifice, deals 150% damage to all enemies and applies silence that cannot be resisted. Again, an irresistible silence. And she's going to do it on all enemies. So she's going to be one of the best silencers here. And this is on a 3-turn cooldown if she's fully mastered. Okay, if she's got full masteries, this is on 3-turn cooldown. Otherwise, it is on 4-turn cooldown. Still, it is ridiculous because her A1, her basic, is going to reduce the cooldown on this thing, on her ultimate. So she has to, this one is already on a 3-turn cooldown because she will anyhow use her bonus as her basic at least once, and that means it reduces the cooldown of the ultimate by 1 round. So by the time she does her basic on for the second time, her ultimate is already ready to be used. So this is going to be ridiculously difficult to beat because she's going to silence everyone because it cannot be resisted. Even though it is only for 1 turn and she places unhealable for 2 rounds, which is again really great because it is for 2 rounds, not for 2 turns. Remember that. There is a difference between rounds and turns. So she's going to place that unhealable for 2 rounds, even though that unhealable requires focus. It's only silence that cannot be resisted, but unhealable, it requires focus. Awesome. This is simply great. Okay, she's going to be a really, really good CC hero. Absolutely powerful CC hero. Anyone who gets her is going to be having a good time against PvP because she's got a silence that cannot be resisted. She's got a nightmare skill that cannot be resisted. She's going to just blast through PvP. Even in certain areas in Void Tower Hard, she's going to be ridiculously powerful because she's going to be able to make the nightmare skill act really, really hard. So as far as I'm concerned, Desdemona is going to be a really, really powerful dark hero. And I wonder why it is a dark hero. I hope I can get her in 5 days if I can, but I'm sure I'll not get her. Anyways, let's move on to the next hero. So our last hero is in Free Cities. Okay, so Hyunwoo, or I butchered it, I know. I'll just call her Woo. So as far as Woo is concerned, Hyunwoo is concerned, he's one of the most hyped heroes, I think, at this present time, in this year. Like, yeah, she looks really, really awesome. And I think like I should be changing my profile picture to look more like her or him. I'm not sure. It's probably him. Okay, so I'm thinking like I should use him as my profile picture. Looks a pretty good shinobi, you know? Yeah, I do like him. So I'm going to I'll probably change my profile picture. So he's got an S tier attack at 1596 attack. Very powerful attack. But the rest of the stuff is B tier. B tier health, B tier defense, B tier speed, 117 speed, pretty slow. At least he's got an A tier crit rate. Okay, so let's look at his skill. So he has got crit rate is increased by 30%. So he's always going to get 30% increased crit rate. The part of crit rate that exceeds 100% is converted into attack by a certain percentage. So it's going to be a percentage of a percentage. So he's anyhow going to gain 30% crit rate. So it's easy to crit rate him. So you can give him more crit damage. But remember, you are also going to gain more attack if you're exceeding the crit cap. Just give him 130% crit rate or 150% crit rate if it is possible. Give him as much as crit damage as possible, as much as attack as possible. There you go. You have got a really, really good trait over here. A really cool trait for an attack hero, a single target attack hero. Yeah, I agree with this description over here. It's really cool to have someone who can do that, who can utilize the crit cap on himself, right? So that's great. So when attacking, if the target has no positive effects, applies 1 stack of bleeding to the target for 2 rounds. Okay, bleeding doesn't do much, but still you're getting some kind of debuff. If the target has positive effects, removes 1 positive effect on them instead. Now it doesn't say if it requires focus or not, but I think like you will require focus and you're not going to give him focus. You're just not going to give him focus. But if you're ascending him, he's also going to gain random stats up for 2 turns on each attack. That's ridiculous. But you need to ascend him, that's the thing. And he's a wood hero. That's going to be very difficult. Okay, to ascend a legendary hero. At least he's a wood hero, so you can get him some ascension going on there. His basic Scarlet Blade, it deals 120% damage to one enemy with 100% chance to apply 2 stacks of bleeding on them for 2 rounds and gains 1 rage. So you can use him really well instead of Scarlet. I think like if it's, but no, you can't use him instead of Scarlet. He's not going to get as many hits in Guild Wars, but at least in other areas you can use him pretty well. Right? So yeah, he's also going to gain 1 rage. what does that rage do? So in Spellbreaker, which is his special, a passive, before taking area damage, gains 60% damage reduction, 100% bonus resistance, and bonus attack for 1 turn up to 1 times per round. Oh, that's a ridiculous skill. So every time he's going to get an area damage, not Natalia. Natalia's is not an area damage, but what is of Baron? Baron's is an area damage. So every time he's going to take area damage, he's already using a 60% damage reduction. Even though it's only for 1 time per round, it is going to be there for every round. So he's going to do that damage reduction. He's also gaining 100% bonus resistance and a bonus attack. So what does bonus attack do? It grants a bonus attack with this character's basic ability alongside any attack against an enemy. So he's going to get a bonus attack for 1 turn up to 1 time per round. That's awesome skill. So he's going to hit really, really hard, and he's also gaining an attack. Okay, so his ultimate Shadow Dance, it consumes all rage, deals 200% damage to 1 enemy, applies increased damage taken to them for 2 turns. For each rage consumed, increased damage dealt by 35%, and additionally applies 1 stack of bleeding to the enemy for 2 turns. At max rage, automatically launches a bonus attack with this ability. Okay, that's incredible. He's already going to, for each rage he's consuming, he's already increasing his damage by 35%. So if he has got 3 rage, that's like 100%. He's going to deal 300% or 320 or 350 depending upon how many rage he has. And if he has got if he's at max range, he's automatically launching a bonus attack with this ability. So Hyunwoo is going to really, really shine out there. And I do like his look, you know. I like that Shinobi look. I want that avatar. I hope they give that avatar. I'll be changing my avatar, possibly my profile picture on my, the banner on my YouTube channel, on other channel, and all those places. He looks great. He looks awesome. Just like, he looks more like a ninja Cyclops, you know. The Cyclops and ninja mixed. Cyclops from X-Men and ninja mixed together becomes Hyunwoo. Okay, that's what I think it is. But yeah, hey, these heroes, this time, all 3 of them have got incredibly good skills. Okay, incredibly good skills. I'm liking their how they have built them up, their traits, their description. They are all really, really good. And yeah, if you're able to get those heroes, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to use them anywhere. Okay, wherever they're supposed to be used, you'll be able to certainly use them. And they're going to be really, really good for your account. But the only problem is Desdemona is going to be really hard to get. Hyunwoo is only available in limited summons right now. I hope I can get him in an advanced summon whenever I'm doing an advanced summon. And as far as the other epic is concerned, Daphne, yeah, she's an epic. So obviously we'll be able to easily get her and at least build her up to go against the fire boss in the Rift of Chaos dungeon. So yeah, let me know what you think about these heroes. Post it on the comments on this video. Please feel free to comment. I always reply to the comments as much as possible. As far as possible, I reply to almost all the comments. I would certainly like to hear what you have to say about these heroes. And of course, certainly I'll be posting some other videos on Rift of Chaos pretty soon. I'm trying to build some good teams. But yeah, it has got so much stat requirements. I hope they at least reduce the speed on the speed requirement on those dungeons. It's just too high. It's ridiculously high. So it's very difficult to get there now. But I'll certainly be posting them soon. So keep a lookout for my videos. I'll certainly get back to you soon. So until next time, peace, love, and blessings to all of you. Shinobi out.